Alright, welcome back to Aeon Your Hero. And this is also Michelle. This is Butterfly Spirit 314, as you know her. Okay, so first thing that happened was, this is all in the same week. Okay, I had a video about having kids. Okay, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. These things are coming into reality a lot more. And these things being jobs go, why would I have kids when jobs going out of business? Can't find jobs, layoffs, and the difficulty of finding jobs. Now, it's the 1st of April. The sound you hear outside, that's sleet. I can tell y'all, but that's ice falling. Anyway, went to Aldi's, and I saw a lady. Actually, when we was parking, we saw a guy in a van, and there was a child in the van. So, we went in Aldi's.
We didn't see them until we came back out.
Oh, no, I saw him. I was on the passenger side. She didn't see because she was on the driver's side.
Okay.
Anyway, we went in, and there was this lady out there with a sign. What did it say? Go ahead, tell them what it said.
I don't remember what it said.
I'll tell them what it said. It said, job went out of business, which caused me to lose my job, have kids, please help outside of Aldi's.
And Aldi's, by the way, for people to know, and Aldi's are everywhere here in the United States, in case you're watching from somewhere else, but Aldi's it's a German, it's like a food store, but anyway, Aldi's is a grocery store that we go to. You get food for really cheap, really good quality food for really cheap. So it's good food, good quality food and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Better than going to other grocery stores and stuff like that.
They try to keep it natural. You know what I'm saying?
All right, go
okay, so we went in. Going to the fucking store always takes like 20 minutes. We go in for 20 minutes, come back out. Lady is there. Luckily, there is somebody that has the money and had the means, to actually to give her a thing of groceries.
Yeah, the lady gave her, I think I saw the lady gave her like a green pepper, yellow pepper, and like gave her some vegetables and stuff, I guess, or something like that. I'm not sure what else. Did you see what the lady gave her?
Yeah, they also gave her, this is the problem if you saw my video about homelessness when I was homeless.
Okay. What else did they give her?
They gave her stuff that you can't cook. And, if we don't know if she's like, doesn't have a house to go to or family members to go to, we don't know that situation. Okay, but
what else did they give her?
They gave her frozen foods. Frozen foods, canned foods, stuff you need a can opener to open, stuff you need a refrigerator to keep cold. You know what I mean? Like, look, that's one of the things that always got me. I didn't understand it. When people, I'm glad they'd help me when I was in my time of need. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you need stuff you can make without that stuff. You need your shelf life milk, shelf life everything. Okay?
Yeah.
Bread, peanut butter jelly, any type of snack you can make that doesn't require a refrigerator.
Okay.
Or an electric can opener or to warm up, okay? So, the deal is that when we got back to the car, the van was still there too.
Yeah, and then I saw the guy, and he had like a son in the car and stuff.
Okay, so this is why what I'm telling you about why abortions are important. Because of stuff like that, if you know you can't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because plenty of family members tell you, well, you got to apply out of state. For a job. She could have came to Missouri from Virginia or some shit like that with no family members down here. And she took that risk, and that risk led to, a loss of a business going out of business and loss of a job.
Uh-huh.
Not on her account, not on her own willingness to work and all that. Okay? You have a certain amount of means. If you live at your means with a job and not below your means, you could be messed up. If you are not saving, you could be messed up.
Yeah. And so what I wanted to say about the when we first went into the store and stuff, and I saw the lady with a sign, Me seeing her. You said something about when we went in the store? Did you say something about the lady?
Yeah, she had a little girl with her.
And she wasn't pregnant, right? She wasn't.
No, she wasn't pregnant.
Okay, so she wasn't pregnant. So, one good thing is that this lady was not pregnant.
At least she didn't show. And if she was pregnant, she didn't show.
So, I mean, the thing is that, we can tell, and anyone knows about homelessness, but we can tell that this lady is, she's has a sign and stuff like that or whatever. And from what anyone's told me about, homelessness is that you don't have a lot of time to be spending by having a sign, like people standing outside on the street and stuff like that, like when they're like next to like stoplights and stuff. Like, you don't have a lot of time if you're homeless to be expecting me to give to you, because there's people who will not give to you. You know what I'm saying? So for anyone, he and his sister had to go find food when they were younger. So it's one of those things that homelessness is a real thing. It happens to real people. What I wanted to say about going to the store, when I saw the lady, I already knew that I wasn't going to give anything to her. And I think to a degree, like, I think it was kind of one of those things where I didn't want to give to her, because I was like, well, I got like my situation and our situation, what we're trying to hold up and stuff. And I guess it was like one of those things where it was like one of those selfish moments and stuff like that I had, where I was like, well, oh, well, she's holding up a sign and stuff like that with her daughter. Well, she put herself in this situation somehow. That was my manner of thinking. Now, I don't know the lady, so I didn't ask her what her story was. I could have stopped and asked her. I've stopped and asked, I asked a homeless person, this lady, a few years ago about, her story and stuff, whatever, that was like outside of 7-Eleven. I asked her what her story was, and, I found out that she was homeless because, I think it was because she was, became homeless because, she wasn't able to, she was like waiting to get the money for stuff, like her Social Security, different stuff like that, and she ran into the problem of losing her house and stuff like that. And so she was, she's still waiting on her Social Security and stuff. And she had a plan. Once she got it, she was going to get her replaced and different stuff like that. Now, I haven't seen that lady, so assumably she got what she needed. I hope, that she did. I think that homelessness is not something that people want to acknowledge and want to see. You want to assume that everybody's doing good. That's what you want to assume. But, you never know what the other person, in the store is going through or how much money they have. You really don't know. Now, one thing I would say about the lady is by having a sign and it being her and her daughter, I think that, to me, that is a very big letdown to me. The fact that you're her having her child right there.
That's one of them. Because she had a son in the van, and the father was in the van. But since she had a van, I'm reckoning that she probably had more than two.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, what I was getting to the fact is that I don't think a parent should subject their child to standing outside holding a sign. I don't think you should do that. I think you should do everything possible to not do that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't use your child, to me, and maybe that's why I didn't want to give anything to her, because not against the child, but the mother, because she should have done something to not have to do that, and I think that, like, putting your child in that situation, and using your child to get people's sympathy. Well, I don't think that that's good to do. I think that people need to know the lady should have stood there herself and said she had a kid and said, hey, well, I have a daughter, and I don't want my daughter to be sitting here, but I lost my job and blah, blah, blah. I don't think the child should have to be subjected to that. I don't think any child should be subjected to that. If anybody has kids, like, before you have kids, you need to, come up with something to do to make sure you can support those kids for the time they're born, going all the way up to their time they're adult. There are a lot of people who will not, but this is what I think, personally. You shouldn't be having no baby if you cannot support the baby. People are going to say, oh, stuff comes up and this and that other. Yeah, but you should have planned for it before you had the baby. You know, people know their situation before they have kids. Now, Aaron does bring up a good point that because they had a van, that maybe they have more than, you know, the kids, the, you know, 2 kids we saw. Maybe they did, you know. So who knows? You know, they know their situation. We really don't. But it's one of those things that, you know, I was just surprised, you know, that the lady would do that. But I mean, if you are trying to feed your family, then I guess you should do it. You know, do what you can, you know. But I think people should take responsibility. Not just the women saying that dad needs to take responsibility, but I think the mother needs to take responsibility for that baby before that baby gets here. So before you go and lay up with some man and open your legs, you need to make sure that you got a place that you gonna have, you know, to raise that child from 0 to 18. You need to make sure you're going to have a job. You're going to be able to hold down something to take care of your kids. That's another thing. You know, be able to buy food, clothing, pay your bills, everything to take care of the kids you're about to bring into the world. You know what I'm saying? You need to do that. You know, you need to be, you know, grown up about this. Don't be a child about it. Be a grown woman about it. You know, and I'm talking to the ladies. Because a lot of them think, oh, well, I'm just going to have a baby, and when I have a baby, things are just going to fall into place, and everything's going to work. It's not going to be like that. You need to see ahead. You're supposed to be responsible. As the mother, you need to be thinking about it. You know, the thing is, where's that maternal instinct at? You know, that people say that the women have, right? Where's it at?
Got monetized.
You know, you need to have that instinct where before this baby comes, you need to be able to support the baby. I don't mean you need to be able to support the baby with food stamps or no WIC or no child support. No, I mean that you need to be able to support the child yourself. That's what you need to be able to do before bringing a kid into the world if you're a true mother. I mean, by the time you have animals that can support kids, you know, like they're young and stuff like that, they don't bring, you know, their young, you know, little babies or whatever into the world without the child being able, well, not the child, but the young that like the animals have, not being able to have the resources. Like you see a lot of animals. If you watch National Geographic or something like that, or you watch National Geographic Channel or Channel 9 or something like that, PBS, you know, or the Animal Planet channel, whatever. You watch that, you're going to see, you know, where they have the shows where you see the animals, you know, and the animals, they will be pregnant, and the animal will make sure, like, that they have a suitable place to have their young. You know, all animals have that. They don't have, you know, any babies until they know that they have a place to support you know, to support their young and stuff like that, you know, and animals take it seriously, you know, they actually do, you know. That's why do you think you have, you know, the mother and the father of, you know, the little young animal? Why do you think they go out and make sure that they can go and get food, you know, for a lion or a tiger or, you know, a bear, whatever? They go and they will go and kill to get something to bring back to their babies, you know, so they can feed their babies. That's what they do. You know, they're willing to, you know, go toe to toe with another animal if it means that they're going to feed their young. Wolves do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So by the time these animals can do it, but then you know, human parents, they can't do it. They can't hold it down. And we supposed to be on this high ass level above the animals. But you got people senselessly having kids. There's a big problem. You know, that will mean that the animals need to be on the higher set of the food chain than the people. That's what that means, to me. But, you know, I'm not trying to be mean to the lady who was standing outside Aldi. I'm not trying to be like that.
Well, I mean,
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being realistic about this stuff. This is real life.
I understand. It's just maybe she's not the one who lost the job. Perhaps the man who's in the van is the one who really lost the job. She's just holding a sign. Perhaps because she wasn't working together with her man to actually take care of them children. Because one of them has to have a job to have something going on. So they would still be able to buy food somewhat for the children. Now, unless if they both had a job or if they, lost a job, whatnot. But if one of them has a job and one of them does not have a job, okay, this is where you get I want to say whereas this is okay for me. Mom had a job, where she was with the abuse or whatever, didn't have a job, and during the homelessness time when she went to work, we still actually had to search for food. So, which means in their situation, probably one of them does have a job, one of them doesn't. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. The guy who's abused me, my sister, or whatever, or my mom was with, during the time of homelessness, he never ever got a job. Not even then, he never did, ever. Okay, so if he did, the situation wouldn't have happened. So what I'm telling you is that their situation more than likely wouldn't have happened if she wouldn't have put everything on the man, on the man, on the man, on the man. Unless he was a bad boy, and then he just put everything on the woman, on the woman, on the woman, on the woman.
So I think we can move on to the other example of what you saw when you went to the food pantry.
Okay, so I went to the food pantry. Yeah, I do. I go there.
Yeah, we go to the food pantry sometimes.
I mean, food get low.
Yeah.
Which is something that, see you should have done. Or, if you're homeless, know about food pantries and whatnot. But you need people to tell you where those are.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, anyway. I went there. And this van pulled up, and I heard this real small cry. And so the lady gets out. And it's not a lady. Turns out it's a grandma with a newborn at the food pantry. Okay? Now, also, 3 pregnant women is there. But for some reason, they're up in age. They're like 40. Their facial features, they look 40, like 45 to 55.
Okay.
As well as the grandmother looked about 50 to 55, something like that. Okay, so the issue is that one of them, when I saw the little black baby, and I mean it didn't have no hair, it couldn't open its eyes, it's that new. I almost cried, and these 2 girls asked me, "Why are you sad?" I said, because that is a brand new baby that got birthed out, that's here, in these circumstances. That's not good news. There's 3 women over there that are pregnant that is also here in these circumstances. I don't see any man. Okay. Man is not here. Okay. The woman's out by herself doing whatever she's doing to help her, whatever, and she's pregnant. Plenty of things happen to women when they doing stuff outside by themselves when their man is working, whatnot. He should have a day called off for this or something, or went to work later, or got off earlier. So for this type of thing, so that is a very big issue because their babies. There's a woman there also. She was pregnant, but she already had 2 kids. And she was there at the food pantry.
Okay.
So, this is why I'm not having kids. This is why I'm telling y'all to not do that stuff, because if your situation is bad, you need to get an abortion. If you don't want to get an abortion, if you don't believe in abortions, then you also shouldn't believe in having sex before you're married either. You can't just it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to go off of a moral standard, that's one of the most, not hypocrite, but that's the most contradicting things I ever heard.
It's a hypocritical thing because you're saying one thing and doing something else.
It doesn't make sense.
It's hypocritical.
You're willing to have sex without being married first. But you're willing to do that, sleep with different guys, all that shit. But you don't believe in abortion. That doesn't make... What happens does that make? Because there's not... To believe in that would mean that is usually has some type of religious background to it. And if that's the case, then what the hell are you doing? Okay, then that's one of the
Well,
biggest
if-
contradictions I've never will understand.
Well,
in
if
my
they
life.
don't believe in it, then they can get on birth control.
Yes, get on birth control. Now here's the thing. I'm speaking to the guys out here. If the woman ever says these things, oh, the birth control pill, it messes up my cycle. When ask other girls who had to get on it because it regulates their cycle. Ask that. Okay, so when they say that, when they say, oh no, do you want to have a baby? Oh, I don't know. When they say, kids are great, and oh, I'm not on birth control. I don't like to be on birth control. That means all that stuff is a translation for I want to have your baby. Okay? Because when you open up a box of condoms, you got this long ass list of all these things, all these birth control methods and options that women have.
Mm-hmm.
You got two options. You got two options. Okay? Either you have condom or you have vasectomy. That's all you got. You don't have pull-out method because you have stuff that still comes out, which is what you call pre-cum or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you're still getting pregnant. Women can still get
Women
pregnant.
can still get pregnant from that.
Mm-hmm.
Even a higher chance if they have already had a baby. If you're a single mother, you're messing with a single mother, that's a very high chance she's going to get pregnant again. And you already know what choice she made because the baby's there, so you know that she more than likely doesn't believe in abortion. So therefore, don't do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the deal is that just use birth control. Okay, it's like at the Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, but you know what to catch your pregnancy early? Dollar Tree, basically a 99-cent store. They have plenty of pregnancy tests you can have. You can go get. Okay, cheap. And they do work better than the freaking first step. We have tried that. First step sucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it'll give you a false negative. Yeah, so you don't want that.
Yeah. I think that what I want to say is, with a response to Awan talking about seeing women at the food pantry. First off, I've gone to the food pantry with them and stuff like that. And yes, there are women that do have kids and stuff like that go to the food pantry. And now people might say, well, don't we work or whatever? Yeah, we work, but sometimes we need food, and that's just the case for anybody who's gonna say, well, you shouldn't eat that, blah blah blah. But let's shine a light on the fact that you had 3 pregnant women that were pregnant. They were up in age and they were pregnant. My thing is that what the hell are you doing being pregnant if you are 45 or up? I don't understand what the hell you're doing having kids at that age. Because tentatively people that are in their 40s and stuff like that, tentatively what they're doing is they really, they're grandparents at that point. A lot of times people are. They don't want to birth out a baby. They don't want to do that. They want to enjoy their life that they have. They bought a house, they got grandkids or something, but they don't want to have a baby. These women, I don't know what the hell they was thinking. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But, now somebody might say, and this popped in my head, somebody might say, oh, well, what if you have a grandma carrying a baby for her daughter because her daughter can't have a baby, but her daughter really wants a baby and stuff like that. Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that because there are cases where sometimes that happens. It's not very high, but it happens because the daughter can't carry, she can't have kids for whatever reason. So I can see that, okay? But these 3 pregnant women, and they're older, so they know better. They willingly got pregnant. They know at their age, they know that there's birth control that exists. They know that. They're not teenagers. They're not living in their parents' house. It's not their first go around about sex. It's not anything like that. They already know. They're in their 40s. They've been around for a while. They know. Okay? So they knew that what they were getting into by being in their 40s, they knew. They already have.
Stripes and stripes of gray hair, all that.
So them carrying babies does make sense to me. The grandma who was carrying the newborn, I'm thinking that it wasn't her baby.
No,
I'm thinking that it
because she
was.
didn't look pregnant at all.
Well, let me finish.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
So,
I was there.
So what I'm saying is that I think it was probably her granddaughter's baby or something, or her daughter's baby, or whatever, and she's most likely her granddaughter. Her granddaughter had a newborn baby. She's trying to help her granddaughter because maybe her granddaughter just got a job or something, and so her granddaughter needs somebody to watch the baby. Maybe that's it. Okay. You know, that's what I assume with that grandma. So maybe the grandma's trying to be supportive and help out because maybe her granddaughter doesn't have anybody else who can help out. You know, so she's doing that. So the grandma's there to get some things. I can understand that. Okay. I got that. So that grandma, to me, there's no fault for her. The 3 pregnant women in their 40s, they ain't got no damn excuse. They ain't got none. You ain't got none. You've been around, you didn't have jobs, you know, you've lived. No. You already know. Okay? No excuse. None. Okay? Alright, so I think you just said that was just all those people, right? Oh, and then there's a lady who was pregnant that had 2 kids. Okay. Lady that's pregnant that got 2 kids. Alright, what the fuck are you doing at a food pantry? And you got 2 kids, and you're pregnant with another baby. What the hell makes you go and do that? I'm not yelling at y'all. I'm just saying. What the hell are you doing? Okay? If you knew that you can't take her to 2 kids you have, what the hell are you doing having another baby? Okay? Because that means to me that you knew better, but you didn't. You just wanted to go along with the trend. Of, oh, I want to have another baby and this and that other. But guess what? I think you probably fucked up because now you're in a situation, you're at a food pantry. So basically, at this point, you had 1 baby, and it's a kid now. You had another baby, and it's a kid now, right? So now you're pregnant with another baby, but let me guess what's happening. Nobody's giving you support now. Nobody is. So you can't throw a baby shower because nobody's going to give you money. They're not going to give you gifts. No, that happened with the first 2. But now you're pregnant with another one. But it shows you at a food pantry, nobody's giving you support. Nobody is because you're pregnant at a food pantry. And, you know, I mean, since you're by yourself, we can assume that the guy, either you're with a bad boy who doesn't, you know, he's not there really to support you. He's there just to, you know, screw you and then, you know, leave type shit and doesn't really want to supply any support, which happens. A lot of women tend to be attracted to that. For the wrong damn reasons, I don't know. But, you know, I think that this lady basically made a stupid mistake by getting pregnant because you already got 2 kids. If you can't support these 2 kids, what the hell are you doing having another one? You know, I mean, you should have knew better after you had the first one. Once you had the first one and you discovered you couldn't take care of it, then you shouldn't have did it. Now, some people are going to say, well, maybe she was able to take care of the first one. Okay, well, there's not a reason to have another one. Kids are expensive. You know, I've talked to people, you know, and jobs I've been in, and there's been people who've said they have, you know, they may have 1 kid, and 1 kid is stressing them out and, you know, is worrying on on the money they make. So they having trouble taking care of 1. This lady got 2 running around, and then she got 1 in her stomach. You know, I mean, you should know better at 1 child. But some people are going to say, well, you know, maybe, and I don't know, and was it a girl and a boy that she had?
Yep.
Okay, so she already had a girl and a boy, so nobody can make the argument, oh, well, maybe she, you know, well, she had 2 boys, so maybe she wanted, you know, a girl, or, you know, maybe she had 2 girls, she wanted a boy. No. She already got a boy and a girl. That's usually what people want. Boy, girl, done. But this lady, evidently, she just wants to pop out another baby. That's pretty much it. But see, it got to her at the fact now that she's pregnant and she's at a food pantry. Because this shows that nobody in her family is willing to support her or make sure she has anything. Nobody's willing to do it. Her guy's not even there.
You see, girls, this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't believe a man when he says, Try collecting child support from a dead man. When he says that, and he's telling you that he doesn't want to have a baby, and you have a baby anyway, and he kills himself because you didn't believe him, because you thought you had the magic vagina or whatever you thought you had, and he actually kills himself, how are you going to collect that child support now? You can't collect it from a dead man, just like he said. That's what happens. It's what also happens when you decide, you know what, I'm going to have monthly payments from these guys, from different guys, in different months. They have different occupations, and I'm going to objectify them for their wallets, and objectify them for their careers, and I can put on YouTube and put on Facebook about my baby daddies, and this is what this one looked like, don't he look good, this one is my baby daddy. And I can go get my little paternity shoots. Maternity, your maternity shoots that y'all like to have. That word is paternity, maternity. It's like the same.
Paternity is relates to the father. Maternity relates to the mother.
Yeah, mother.
Maternity shoots. Maternity shoots are pretty big now, where places are doing maternity shoots because women want to capture that moment of being pregnant or something like that.
Yeah, so I always paternity is always in my head. It's like paternity comes out, but in my head I mean maternity.
Okay,
but
so maternity.
Maternity, you want your maternity shoots. You want to post it on Facebook. How many likes you can get me comments? You want your baby shower experiences. You want that attention on you. Then you think, okay, well, that's probably all you got after that. This is what happens when you try the same method with different guys. The first guy, what you did was you got pregnant to pressure him into marriage. That didn't work. So you used the same method on the next dude. Then you used the same method on the next dude. Now you got 3 babies. And you ain't never got married to none of one of these dudes because the pressuring him, having the babies, pressuring him to marriage did not work with either dude.
Well, some people are gonna say that I've heard on Google when I looked it up. You got some people who say, well, having a baby is a bigger commitment than getting married.
Yeah,
so to them, they're saying, and they're right. They're absolutely right. It's a bigger commitment, but they don't really realize how big of a commitment that is with a kid, because you have to take care of a kid from a baby going all the way up to 18 or maybe more if the child can't find a job.
Well, why you got to have the baby first to realize that? I mean, weren't you babysitting first? Weren't you trying to find out for real first? Of course you know that now. And now there you are. Okay? Because bet you, those girls that's going on, highschoolmeet.com and all type of stuff. They looking for that they going into their friend zone, any type of help they can get. They going all over the place. But the people in their friend zone, all they gonna say is, now that they rich and now that they more successful, because no girls wanted them to fuck their life up. So now they had all the time to advance their career. So now they're basically saying, if it wasn't good for you then, why would I be good for you now? And that's why they end up like that. In that situation at a food pantry with multiple babies with babies in their stomachs. That's what I mean.
Well, what about the older ladies? What do you think about these older women having babies? What do you think?
You know what? I'm going to tell y'all. Either their mental state didn't grow up and they're, they are wanting the same stuff even the younger girls are wanting with the Facebook. Oh, I want to do a maternity shoot. Oh, I want to have a baby shower too. Well, she got married, so I want to get married too. And maybe they think that they could do the same thing that the younger girls is doing.
Possibly, yeah.
And I feel like, a lot of girls, they say stuff like, oh, the doctor says I can't get pregnant. That means she wants to have a baby. Okay? When a girl says that, that's what that means. Okay? So you guys gotta stop. You have birth control. She has birth control. The issue is that for you women out there, it's very easy to find guys who want to just, so you call it, give you a cream pie. They just do it inside of you. That's it. There's plenty of those dudes that like to do that because they think that girls like that, and they do. But they also are tricked into that sometimes. They think that they that means that you're going to stay with them because they're feeling lonely. So you go find some poor sucker, which really, what you're going to do. You're going to get him for child support and all that stuff. So what happens is this. You get your bad boy to knock you up, to give you a baby, to impregnate you. Your bad boy goes and does his bad boy stuff. He goes and he ends up in jail. So now, how are you going to get that child support now? Or he goes and does his gangster stuff, and he goes gets killed. If he's black, he goes and he does his gangster stuff, and he goes gets killed too. By the police.
Now or by something else.
Or by, drugs, or he's a dope man, and the people who's doped up want more dope, but he's trying to sell it to a certain person.
Yeah.
And they kill him.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know all the different factors. There's a ton of them, but you don't got to put yourself in it if you just use birth control and you good. I'm not here to tell you to be abstinent because that's not realistic. And if you already got a sex drive, it's too damn late.
Here's what I think people should do. I think that one of the most important things is that I think that, for the men and the women watching, I think that, you should be with somebody who's even be with somebody who wants the same thing you want. So if you're a woman and you want to have a baby, be with a guy, who wants to also have a baby. There are some guys out there who do want babies. Don't be with a guy who doesn't want kids, because you're only going to make shit worse. If you have a baby on him, he's going to leave you and everything else. So it's better if you want to have, a baby, have it with, a guy who wants to have a baby. It makes more sense. That way, you get a chance to have somebody who's going to be there to share the moments and all that stuff. Now, ladies, if you try to force a guy into, the whole having a baby thing, he doesn't want a baby, well, be prepared for him to leave you. Now, don't try to put that Virgin Mary experience like you got magically impregnated, immaculate conception, because it doesn't happen. It does not happen. A woman needs to have a penis to ejaculate in her in order for her to get pregnant. That's how it works. Y'all know, if you watch porn, you see it, you know it, okay? There is not an immaculate conception. In the case of the Bible, there's even a mention in the Bible where a man has to be with a woman in order for her to have a baby. Now, they're going to say, oh, with the Virgin Mary and stuff like that, well, she got immaculate conception. Well, what they're talking about, they're not talking about the standard thing. They're talking about something else. They're talking about something that relates to astrology and astronomy. They're talking about that. They're not talking about actually happening, okay? It's not like that. So, and if you want to see an immaculate conception, here's what I want you to do. If you believe in this whole thing, believe in immaculate conception, what I want you to do is and there's probably a lot of Christians watching, so I want you to go and I want you to pray to have a baby, okay? And don't have a boyfriend, don't have no husband, nothing. Go and pray to have a baby, and then don't sleep with any guys. No sexual contact, and see if you come up with a baby out of nowhere with no penis being inside y'all. I want you to just do it, and see if it happens. But you already know that, ladies, you would have to sleep with a guy in order for you to get pregnant. That's how we know the immaculate conception is bullshit. That's how we know it. Because there's not any women who are having any immaculate conception, things is not happening like that. We know that because I've yet to hear, anywhere on any media that it actually happens. So, since we don't have any, there's no scientific evidence and anything like that anybody's put on there and is on the media, because even celebrities, even they, even the girl celebrities, they get pregnant. And they sleep with guys and stuff, so they had no immaculate conception.
They had that one article, but remember, that guy that got pregnant.
That was a woman.
That was a woman. He was just transgender, and she took testosterone to look like a man, shaved her head.
Oh yeah, that
started
was a
growing
movie.
hair,
That
and
was a
started
movie.
doing all that.
Yeah, that was a movie. So yeah, it was a movie. I think I saw.
It was a movie too.
Yeah, it was a movie. I saw it. I think I saw it back some years ago. So yes, there's no immaculate conception. But you know, I think that you know it's better. Now let's talk about the children. I mean, you know, before anybody brings a child into this world, the most important thing is to think about the type of future that the child is going to come into and the type of world that they're going to live in. If you know that the way this world is, it's a bad world and bad things are happening, like there are school shootings, like there's been about, I think 3 school shootings. Actually, I'm sorry, now there's 4 now. There's been 4 school shootings now as of this time. Last time I made a video it was only 3, but now it's been 4. So if you know there's been 4 school shootings and you heard about it on the news, okay, you know that jobs are going out of business and stuff like that. You got a lot of retail stores that are closing down. You know, places going out of business.
One less place for you to apply to.
So if you know that, and you know you're trying to make ends meet, and you know paycheck to paycheck, probably shouldn't be having a baby. There are people who are gonna say, "Oh well, I don't believe in abortion and stuff like that." Okay. Abortion. My take on abortion is I think that abortion is good. I think abortion is good because it prevents a child from coming here and having to deal with the situation, you know, in the kind of world that we live in now where a whole lot of bad shit is happening to people. Okay. So, I mean, I think that it's good. What a lot of people may not know is I've gone through an abortion. And you know what? The people that were, you know, at the Planned Parenthood, I think they were really nice people. They were very helpful and stuff. Why did I get an abortion? Well, because I knew the situation, the circumstances I was in. I couldn't have a baby. I didn't want to bring a baby into anything like that. You know, people of color like myself, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen with us where we could die, you know, get stopped by the police and get killed. So there's no point in having a baby if you're black because you could get killed. You know, I've been pulled over by the police a few times and, you know, I don't want to have to subject a child to something like that. There's black kids who are getting killed and stuff, and I don't want to have that, okay? So, you know, that's the reason I'm not having any kids. Now, the abortion, it's okay, it's safe, it's done in a place where the people are supportive. They ask you if you know, they ask the woman by herself if she wants to have a baby. You get a chance to see her ultrasound and stuff like that. And they take really good care of you, making sure you're okay, all right? Now, for people who are going to say that, oh, I just want to have a baby, you know, and you go through with it, well, then you are prepared to take care of that child. And you know how much it's going to cost to care for that baby. You know, you know, you already got to figure it all out, right? You got a house, you know, to bring that baby into, you know, you can pay your bills with no problem, right? You got, you know, a supportive husband, ladies, that's what you should have. You know, a guy is going to be there, you know, supportive and be with you and help you take care of the baby and stuff like that because a baby needs both parents.
That real active child support.
A baby can't just have one parent, it needs both parents. Because in this world, that child is going to face dealing with men and women. So they need to know how to interact with both. And they learn how to interact with the world by their parents. Because their parents are the first 2 people that they learn from. Okay? So, yeah. I mean, this is just very simple stuff. You know, now, just getting pregnant because somebody else got pregnant is not a wise decision to do because when that baby gets here, the people who told you to have that baby, they're not going to be there to help you. So if you go to a church and they tell you, oh, well, you should have a baby because it's God's gift and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you have that baby. I want you to go back to that same people, that same pastor, that same lady in the church, all those women. Go back to them and ask them to, if you can live in their house and support you, because they told you to bring this baby into the world, okay? Because they did. Go and ask them. Now, I'll tell you something. I went to a Planned Parenthood because I was just visiting Planned Parenthood, and outside there was these group of Christian people. They were out there and stuff with their signs and all that stuff, telling women to have babies and blah, 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 right? All right, so I went up to the group of people and talked to them. And there was a lady there. There was a Christian lady, white lady. It was a group of white people anyway. And so I went up to talk to the white lady, and I said, and I asked them, why were they outside the clinic and stuff. And they're like, oh, we want to let, women know that they have options and they have choices rather than having an abortion and killing the baby and stuff like that or whatever. I said, oh, okay. I said, so and I asked this lady, I said, so if I were to be pregnant and, I decided not to get an abortion, then what you would do is I would be able to move into your house and you would take care of me and my baby. Right? You do that because this is what you're saying by being out here. Because you're saying these women have options. So you're going to personally take care of me if I got pregnant. And when I have the baby, I'll be able to live with you while I'm pregnant, and you're going to make sure I got food and stuff. And then after I have the baby, you're going to give me a room in your house, and my kid can be there and stuff like that, and I can be there as long as I want to, right? You know what this Christian lady said? No, I'm not going to do that. I said, so in my head, I'm like, well, what the hell are you? I'm like, so what are you doing here? So what are you telling them that they have options? Oh, well, we have some foundations and different things that they can go to and different stuff or whatever, and some different charities and different things and stuff that they can programs they can go through and stuff and whatever. And I was like, okay, but you're the one standing outside here, not these foundations. You're standing out here. You're saying you're pro-life, but you're not pro-life because if I have a baby, I cannot live in your house. And you're not going to take care of me and my kid. You're not going to do that. So you are a hypocrite. You're standing out here and you are affecting other women. Now, one good thing is that the fact that when I talked to the lady, there was 3 girls, I believe it's 3 white girls. 3 white girls, they were friends. They all happened to be pregnant. They all rode together in the same car. They heard me talking to the lady. And they heard my conversation with the lady. Because I guess they were wondering if those people were going to help. Because they were kind of second guessing whether or not they should, get an abortion. And what happened is thankfully those girls heard what I asked that lady. And when they heard the lady was not going to help with taking care of their baby or whatever, like helping me with my baby and stuff like that, and the people there wasn't going to help, they walked right into that Planned Parenthood and they got those abortions. They walked right in. And they did. And I'm glad that I saved the lives of those 3 girls. I'm glad because they were on the fence. They needed somebody to talk to and to decide whether or not to have the baby. Now, I know they are probably happy that they didn't because now, they're living their lives and doing things that they can do, And I think that, the fact that these hypocritical people stand outside these Planned Parenthoods is ridiculous. I think that, what? You shouldn't even be out there. There's no reason you should be out there. You're a Christian. Your Christian God believes in mauling children with 2 bears. Mauling 42 children for calling a preacher baldy. This is what your Bible, this is what's in here. This is what it says. If you want the Bible verse, I will gladly give it to you. Whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, you want to comment, just let me know. I'll do that. But this is what this Christian God believes in, that you are following. Jesus believes that the people in your household are your enemies. Yeah, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. Yeah, they're your enemies. This is what Jesus believes. You want that verse? I will give that to you, okay? I have no problem doing it. The thing that I'm concerned about is the children that are coming into this world. Now, no, we don't have kids. And we have reasons for not having kids because we see this world. We're taking notice of it. And we realize that it is not a good idea to have babies and bring them into the world. Now, for people who want to have babies, who are going to love the kids and really care for them, I think you should have a baby if that's what you want to do. If you generally are having a baby because you want to love it, you want to care for it, fine. And your baby could grow up to be, a genius that could do something to help the world. Yeah. If you generally love your kid, you want to nurture your kid and stuff like that or whatever, sure. But don't just have a baby because somebody else had a baby. Don't just do that. Because the people who are telling you how to baby, they're not going to give you money to pay for stuff. Now, some people say, oh, well, my parents will take care of the baby and stuff. You don't know that because there's some chicks who they'll get pregnant and they might be part of a Christian family and their family will toss their ass out the house and leave, disown them and everything. Because they, you got some dire Christian people who believe that, women should be married before they have a baby. So, they'll disown their daughters, because their daughters didn't follow through with it. Now, I think the real issue is that a lot of teenagers are not taught about sex. They learn about it through, they'll go online through porn and they'll try to learn about it, but that's not learning about sex. Learning about sex, what, teenagers should be taught is about, in school, like sex ed, they'll talk about the forms of birth control, but they don't tell you where to go to get them. I think teenagers should be told where to get them. Where do you get birth control? You can go to, healthcare centers. Like here in St. Louis, we have a People's Healthcare. You can go there and talk with the people about getting, birth control, clinics. They talk about it, you know what I'm saying? So you can do that. Hospitals, are they going to talk about it? They're not going to. If you're going to be sexually active, they're not going to do that. They're not going to talk about that because the hospitals want you to have a baby. But through my experience, and if you guys have seen my video on me, going through a pregnancy, and the video was God and Jesus watched me suffer through my pregnancy. If you want to know more about that, you can watch that video. Hospitals, they don't care. They want you to be pregnant. But then the thing is, they're going to charge you with this shit. They're going to charge you a $600 bill just to go and get tested for pregnancy. Like, they're going to, find it pregnant, So, yeah. Also, go to a Planned Parenthood. They have options, though, to talk to you about birth control and stuff like that. If you need to be educated about it, they'll tell you about that. If you guys are teens or something watching this, then yeah, go to a Planned Parenthood. That's a very good resource. They're not scared to talk to you about it. They will.
Okay? Even for cancer.
Yeah, and they do cancer screenings and different things at Planned Parenthood other than just abortions. I think abortions actually save lives of the parents who are not ready to bring a baby into the world.
Or for a parent like my mama, where if you were to have another baby, you would die.
Yeah. So, and me, I'm the type of person, I can't have kids. I found that out through the miscarriage that I had, that I cannot do that. My body will not support it. So, I'm speaking straight facts. I'm not putting no frosting on no old food to try to make it taste good. I'm telling it to you as it is because this is real truth. Because once a baby gets here, it's here. And you have to be able to get stuff. I mean, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to buy stuff, for the baby. You're going to need diapers. You're going to need, the wipes and stuff. And, one thing women don't know, too, is you can feed the baby with breast milk. But you would have to buy a breast pump and stuff and bottles and stuff. But breast milk is very healthy for the baby. Similac, that's the reason it's called formula, because it was developed by somebody, My mother breastfed me and my siblings and stuff like that. We turned up, good, healthy, smart, beautiful, whole thing. And when he was breastfed, sister was breastfed and stuff. I think being breastfed is better. Preferably it is.
Yeah, you come out looking better, you come out stronger, you come out healthier,
yeah.
You fight germs better. If you use Similac, which is similar but lacking, this is what I want you to take a look at. Because I've seen this. On the baby formula. Hold it up and take a good look at it. Read every word on it. Why does that motherfucker say non-GMO? Because They're genetically modifying your baby. Your babies are under experimentation, under the subjugation, of the government, of what they want to do to your child, of what they want your child to be susceptible for, of what they want your child to have no cognitive reasoning, to have what elements to get rid of him faster, her faster, whatever it is. This is what you don't want to use.
Yeah, and if you get breast milk, then the baby will be able to defend itself against sicknesses and stuff, and have immunity. And they will be, smart, fully developed, and stuff like that. Now, when you are eating when you're eating food, make sure you eat healthy foods and stuff, so the baby will get those, vitamins, minerals, and stuff like that, or whatever. And there is no shame in breastfeeding a baby. I know
Nope.
there's going to be people who are going to say, oh, well, women shouldn't breastfeed or whatever, and people may think that the breast is a sexual thing, something sexual about it, but there's, I think that it's better for a woman to breastfeed.
You can get a blanket, whatever you gotta do, but
What do you think about those people who are against breastfeeding? What do you think about those?
the people who are against breastfeeding, those people are trying to program you to make it so that the government can use your child forever it wants through the Similac. That's all it is. They're just trying to program you and put that fear into you. Oh, I don't want to deal with those problems of people looking at me or things like that.
What about guys though? That I think there's some guys who feel that women shouldn't breastfeed babies or something.
I think that's fake. I think that's bullshit. I really think that that's more on the paid commercials, more on the paid stuff. I think they're paid to act that way. It's a little bit too professionally done. When they have those videos on YouTube, it's a bit too professional.
Mm-hmm.
Where the guys are saying it in the next clip and the cameras are all extra fucking good, and there's like no shake, and they all seem to be on tripods, and there's no movement within the camera. Like, that's too professional.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's just too dang fake. What guy is going to really go out and say that? Most guys are going to try to look and try to see a boob or something. That's really the most things that a guy's going to do.
Well, I mean, if you're a woman and you have a baby or something, still get on birth control. After you had the baby, still get on birth control and stuff like that, and focus. I would say for you and the guy that you're with, hopefully you're with the guy, focus on raising a baby and stuff like that, and doing your best. I mean, parenting is a big responsibility. Is a huge responsibility. There are some women who go through it having a baby only to find out that it was the worst choice ever, so they put it up for adoption and stuff like that. But the thing people may not know is there are tons of children in the adoption centers. Tons of them. Black kids, white kids. Yes, I said white kids, blonde hair, blue-eyed kids, for adoption. All different types of kids are up for adoption. You got whole families, like siblings, who are up for adoption. Yes, there are kids who are siblings that are white that are up for adoption. Yes, this is the case. You want to look it up on the internet, on those sites where kids that are looking to be adopted and stuff, you can see them. Yes, there's white kids. It's hard to believe. Some people are going to say, well, that's not true. You can look it up. It's on the internet. You can see it.
247 pages of 5 kids to 1 mom. You go do the first page. 5 kids, 5 kids, 5 kids, 5 kids to 1 mom, to 1 mom, to 1 mom. Next page number 2. 3 kids to 1 mom, 4 kids to 1 mom. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you go to the adoption center. Okay, you got to take all the kids because you're ripping somebody away from their sibling.
Yeah. And one thing I would say too is that with the thing with abortion, I think that any woman can get an abortion for any reason if that's what she wants to do. If you know that you're pregnant by a guy that you don't want to have a baby with, go get an abortion. That is one way where you're taking responsibility and you're making sure that you can ensure your future and stuff, especially if you're in college or whatever and you're doing that. Or if you have a job, and you have a job that you don't want to lose and stuff like that, yeah, go get an abortion. If you don't want to bring a baby in the world and stuff like that, go get an abortion. I don't care what the hell your church says. I don't care what the fuck their family says. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell anybody.
I know y'all tripping about the part where she's like, "I know I'm gonna come live in your house," but I'm gonna tell you right now, that would be a very real situation
Mm-hmm.
for a person like me and her, actually, because it takes a certain amount of money to pay the rent and to pay the bills. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with the child, having diapers be $45 a pop, you know what I'm saying? And more expensive and whatnot. To have a child, guess what? No apartment, and if there's no room to go live at another parent's house, which for me, there isn't any room to go live in my mom's house.
Yeah.
Or, what about your dad? Guess what? They're split. This is what happens. This is what happens when you have a parent who wants to have babies, and you got another parent that want to keep on having babies, and whatever they do, the relationship don't work out. This is what the fuck happens.
And his parents were married, and my parents were married, and
But guess what?
Didn't
Married
work.
and separated. That's what it's
absolutely
called.
it doesn't work. Just because you get married doesn't mean you're gonna be married forever.
Just because I hear a person say, "Well, we've been married for 17 years." Okay. Do you live in the same house though? Are you both taking care of the kids though? Do you both support each other though? Oh no, we're separating in different houses. Oh, see, you got to ask the right questions.
Well,
They make it look good. We've been married for
but
17
there's some
years.
people.
So?
There's some people who are married. Some people have been married 35 years, and
Okay, but are you miserable? Or does she use the Bible against you? Does he use the Bible against her? You know what I'm saying? Are you miserable in a relationship though?
yeah, because if you're miserable, y'all might as well call it quits.
Has chemistry been gone since the first 2 years, and you lived out the rest of the 33 with the spouse?
And I want to talk to
A prisoner?
and there's some people who might be considering having kids, and we're not teenagers, so we can actually speak about things and say that we're in our 20s actually, by the way, so we're older than 25. Okay, so the thing is that we actually are people who are in our own place. We don't live with our parents. So, we can actually talk about stuff like rent, utilities, car, stuff, dealing with the car and stuff, because we're adults and we're actually doing that. We don't live with our parents.
We're not no 12-year-olds on YouTube or saying about little girls named Brooklyn Queen talking about I got rich girl problems.
Yeah, because she ain't got no... Please, that little girl ain't got no problems. She's 12.
Okay, so with me, it's like, why ain't you have kids? You know what I mean? Or because there are certain things that you can't do, even if no matter, I don't care how deep in religion you are. Some things you just won't go against yourself because you just don't have it in you to do so.
Yeah.
So when it comes to children, I listened to the women. I did. I actually listened to them. They told me, and they told other guys all the time, don't be a deadbeat, don't be a no good dad. And they said this one all the time. They said, men need to take responsibility for their kids. I saw it all over Facebook. I saw it all over YouTube. I heard it from my parents. I heard it from everywhere. Heard it from younger girls. You see, but y'all was talking about to get money. You was talking about men need to take responsibility for their kids after you split from the man to get child support money. But when I was younger, and when I was listening to that, you see, I really wasn't hip to that type of game that y'all was doing that.
The girls.
The girl was doing that. I heard it, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that my child has the resources it can be able to grow up and thrive and have a successful life, to start its life from the beginning, and to be able to end its life and live successfully until at least 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Since that's not the case, and since I was already homeless at the age of 8, and times are worse now, and there was businesses that I knew that back then, Blockbuster, some of the Microsofts, things like that, I knew back then that existed, that I no longer see now. Kmart. I mean, people could work at those jobs. So since things are worse now, I got no business having a baby. Because I'm taking responsibility. I'm doing what y'all say. I take responsibility. Man, they take responsibility for their kids. I say, that's what I'm doing. There you go.
I think so. And you've also gone through, abuse and stuff like that
Yeah.
as
It can happen anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can be abused anywhere. And I'm not talking about just hitting. I'm talking about
like sexually, all that in the church,
mentally,
all
emotionally,
that.
yeah.
Your uncle, the people can do that. But I'm gonna go. But I want to tell you one last thing.
Uh-huh.
Be an independent, strong woman. Be an independent, strong man.
Yes.
Don't be a copy. A copy is somebody who looks at it on Facebook or sees it in the media and says, I want that. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get that, even though it's going to ruin my life. I want that attention. I want that. I want that excitement.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. Guess what? That's fine. Do it on your time, not on their time. Not to keep up with the Joneses. Not to stay up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Not to, you ain't up on this, so you gotta feel like you gotta be up on this. Your time, when you can afford it, when you got the job, when your business pops off, if you're worried about that type of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Independent woman, strong independent woman, be that. Don't be a copy. Strong independent man, be that. Don't be a copy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say copy good stuff. Copy, being a successful person, opening a business. I mean, copy doing that. Copy doing something like volunteering to help people. Really going and doing stuff. Copy doing stuff like helping out folks when they need it. Like if you got people in your family that need help or something like that, copy doing that.
I can accept that. Go ahead. Take that advice and copy doing that.
Copy doing that. Copy taking, holding down, getting an apartment or getting a house. Hold down copy getting that, you know what I'm saying? And being able to copy holding up your bills. Do that. Copy buying stuff for yourself when you have, saved up money to do something like to go do a vacation or something like that. Copy doing that, saving up, you know what I'm saying, and budgeting and doing stuff to get the things you want. Copy doing the successful shit, not the unsuccessful shit. Copy the successful stuff. I'm not talking about copying being a rapper and stuff like that or whatever, because that shit never. There's tons of people trying to copy being a rapper, but it never gets anywhere. It never goes anywhere.
Because it's a setup for us black folks.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at it. Copy the successful people. There are black successful people who do stuff. Look at Oprah. Okay, copy Oprah. Oprah is successful. She is a businesswoman. She has her production company and stuff like that. She has her own magazine. Copy that type of success. Okay, copy that. Don't necessarily go copy something like Empire, where, it's about the rapping and this and that other, because that's not going to happen like that. It's not going to be that way. Yeah, do something like, there's people who are successful that have done things, that Oprah's one example. You got Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's an actor. Do something like him, be successful like him. He knew he wanted to do stuff with producing movies and stuff. Do stuff like that. There's people also, Beyonce. Beyonce is a good example. But when I say copy Beyonce, what I mean is it's not necessarily her hair or her nails or her outfits. I'm not talking about that. When I say copy Beyonce, what I'm saying is if you got a dream of something you want to do, like if you want to be a singer, actor, scientist, whatever your vocation is, follow through and be successful like people in that field. Beyonce sang for many years from the time she was a little girl all the way up through her teen years before she became successful. Copy doing the things that are unpopular. You know what I'm saying? Like sticking through till you get a goal. If you want to be an athlete, copy being like a successful person who's an athlete or a successful person who's a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's, worked out and done stuff. Copy the successful, not the unsuccessful. We can tell that it's unsuccessful when people just have kids, because look at shows like Maury or Jerry Springer. Look at those kind of shows. Those people are unsuccessful. Those people are not people who you see who got their own private jet, or people who have their own home, or who can hold down their bills and can go do other stuff they want to do. Copy the successful, not the unsuccessful. It's very simple, okay? It is. You have to plan things out if you're going to be successful. You're not going to be successful overnight, but if you work at it, you can be successful and stuff and do things that are legal, not things that are illegal. You know what I'm saying? But do the good things. You know, copy the good, not the bad
And
shit.
stay away from the debt stuff. Stay away from the debt. And if you're thinking about, marrying people and stuff like that, you're going to have to get a prenup, especially if you're a guy. Prenup, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how long she got to wait. She can whine, she can flop, she can cry, she can flop all over the place. I don't care. Because your college debt or whatever debt you have is going to mix with her. And hers with yours. You see, the bad shit mixes, not the good shit when it comes to marriage, especially for a man.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching this video. He probably needs some water or whatever because we've been talking for like an hour. But thank you guys for watching. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to comment and we will comment back to you. We're real people, so we have time to comment unless we're at work, because we work just like everybody else. So, and we're not being sponsored in any way. Of course not. So yeah, we're just regular people making videos to really impact people's lives and help people. So this has been Butterfly Spirit 314, aka Michelle. That's what I go by on YouTube. Butterfly Spirit 314 is my YouTube name, and this is Am Your Hero. And if you want to reach out to either of us on either of our channels on YouTube, you can, or Facebook, you can, or whatever, and we'll respond back and stuff because we're real people. We actually talk,
Yeah, I'm real grown up about it.
Yeah, we're real grown up about it. We're not.
I had some guys try to nitpick with the comments about the whole flat Earth video and just nitpicking. And I'm just like, look, man, and he forgot. He was being mean, calling me stupid, all type of stuff. And when I'm trying to tell him about things in a respectable way, he forgot that he's the person that called me stupid. So when I'm telling him about like, hey, instead of trying to bait me, saying I'm too stupid, whatever. He's like, oh, well, why you call me stupid? Like, you got to remember how you treat people. Just remember how you treat people. All right.
So, thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks. See y'all. Thanks for making it to the end of this video.